This is the SML Today, and you are listening to the SML Podcast Network.
What's up, SML? This is Dmues. I'll be hosting this week's episode of SML Today. I hope you've liked the first two with Meats and Prime, and hope to come at it from a little bit different angle here this week. So I'll be covering week 2 for you, giving you the rundown on everything that happened in week 2. We're in week 3 now, and the way we advance, I'm sure we'll have week 4, which I believe we'll have a different host for you next week. So let's run through everything, week 2 in the SML, and this way you can get all your information you're looking for all in one place. So we're going to go game by game here, some quick nuggets from each game. So we're starting in the NFC West. NYT and the Arizona Cardinals defeated Tiny and the 49ers 17-0. Not a lot noteworthy out of this game from an offensive perspective. Kyler Murray, 6 for 9, nice, 65 yards. There were no passing touchdowns from either starting quarterback Trey Lance or Kyler Murray, and its Tiny's held to 0 points in a defeat. Our next game saw terrible two-step in the Vikings take on Finns and the Bears. It was a close divisional matchup up in the NFC North, but the Vikings were able to pull it out. Zach Wilson versus Justin Fields in the battle of this year's draft picks. Zach Wilson comes out on top in this one despite throwing 2 interceptions. He also had 2 touchdowns and 278 yards. Big game from Cole Kmet for the Bears, who had 5 catches for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns on the day. Our next game brings us to Paulie and the Giants against Woods and the Bills. A couple of SML lifers here. So Paulie moves to 2-0 with a 31-10 spanking of Woods. Josh Allen struggles, throws for 5 interceptions against a stout Giants defense. And Saquon Barkley went crazy in this one, 180 yards rushing, including a touchdown on the ground. Grams was able to defeat Mike in the debut of Tyreek Hill, newly acquired. Tyreek went for 5 catches for 145 yards with 2 touchdowns on the way to leading the Cowboys to a 41-17 victory over the Dolphins. Dolphins rookie quarterback continues to struggle, throwing 4 interceptions, and Dak was the complete opposite here, going 15 for 15 with 4 touchdowns. The Washington football team, DW, squeak one out against Dump and the Eagles, 21-20. Close game here. Both teams threw 3 interceptions. At the end of the day, the difference was really on the ground. Antonio Gibson had 113 yards rushing, and the football team was able to hold Miles Sanders to just 64 yards on the ground. Big play Slay. Couple of stout defensive performances here. Big play Slay, 2 interceptions on the day, and Jonathan Allen on the football team, 4 sacks. Fig was able to pull one out against KJ, 35-21, as the Patriots improve their record on the season. Former Raider Derek Carr, 3 touchdowns on the day, only 1 interception, and Chase Edmonds with a nice day on the ground, going for 117 yards and a touchdown. Newly acquired Jerry Jeudy did score for the Jets in this one, along with 3 catches for 56 yards. Doink and the Bucks defeated Noel and the Packers by a touchdown, 29-22. Aaron Rodgers still slinging it, even at his advanced age. 276 yards on the day, 3 touchdowns, just 1 interception. But at the end of the day, it was not enough to pull out a victory over Doink, who had a balanced attack in this one. Leonard Fournette, 88 yards and a touchdown, and they had 237 yards through the air. Bomber defeated Field 49-35, so that's a win for the Browns. Tom Brady, the GOAT, in his debut season for the Rams, able to put up some points in this one, I believe, mostly late in the game. Unfortunately, he also threw 5 interceptions to go along with his 4 touchdowns. The Browns' run defense stout in this one, holding Cam Akers to 14 yards on 10 rushes. And number 1 overall pick for the Browns, Weber, quarterback, 5 touchdowns, 264 yards. He did throw 2 picks, but that did not matter. And the usual suspects had a good offensive day for the Browns. Nick Chubb, 161 yards on the ground, And Anthony Schwartz, 120 yards receiving with 2 touchdowns on 7 catches. Active day for him. Colt and the Broncos pulled out a win over RD and the Steelers, 34-31. Theo Lewis, rookie quarterback for the Broncos, 3 touchdowns, did not throw an interception in this one. And Noah Fant, usual suspect in Denver, 5 catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown. The Steelers relied on the ground game. Najee Harris, 121 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Unfortunately, it was not enough, and they fall on this one by 3. Prime beat ZZ 12-10, and really due to a late safety in this one that pulled it to 10-9 and gave Prime the chance to have the ball at the end to win by 2 after a field goal. Baker Mayfield struggled in this one after torching the Raiders defense in week 1. 3 interceptions. He only completed a little over 50% of his passes, but big plays when it mattered. 12 completions for 289 yards. Jonathan Taylor, no scores on the ground, and Deontay Harris had 125 yards receiving. The Texans, no standout performers offensively in this one. Deshaun Watson, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions. James Conner held to 44 yards, but the defense is really what carried them in this game and allowed them to stay in it until the bitter end. Monty beat Matt 34-31 in a battle of AFC playoff hopefuls here. Joe Burrow was very efficient, only throwing 3 incompletions on 22 attempts, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Gronk still chugging along. He hasn't retired yet. Old man game, old man strength, going for 64 yards against Matt. Matt did his best through the air. Trevor Lawrence had a great day, 341 yards, but at the end of the day, the 2 interceptions did come back to bite him and helped lead to a 3-point defeat at the hands of Monty. Meats defeated Clinky 41-32 in a high-scoring affair. Clinky but he struggled with interceptions in this one. 4 interceptions against an incredible Chargers defense. They played an extraordinary game. Derwin James, 2 interceptions and a forced fumble in this one. Justin Herbert throws for 4 touchdowns to go along with 2 interceptions. And Lions, unfortunately, were the complete opposite through the air. 2 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, and that's the difference in the game. Dan defeated Double Rice, No Bean, by 4, 30-26, and a comeback win, proving why they traded for Russell Wilson, who played a nearly flawless game, 27 of 38 for 354 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. The Raiders squeezed one out on Coop and the Chiefs, 30-27, after Mac Jones throws a late pick 6 to keep the Chiefs in it. Daniel Carlson's able to hit a field goal at the end of the game to give them a 3-point win. Patrick Mahomes struggled in this one, throwing 3 interceptions and no touchdowns. QP and the Ravens continue to roll. They beat Spooky and the Seahawks 35-13. Lamar Jackson, 2 incompletions, 4 touchdowns. Rashad Bateman, 8 receptions, 145 yards, 2 touchdowns. And watch out for Bateman, folks. He's having a heck of a year here for the Ravens so far. In a divisional battle, Future beat Faz's Computer 17-10. Computer, Jordan Love struggles, no touchdowns with a pick, only 114 yards. Christian McCaffrey can only manufacture 22 yards on 14 carries. Not much better from the Saints. Their rookie quarterback, Bernard, goes 5 for 16 with 3 interceptions. But Alvin Kamara, at the end of the day, was too much to handle as he went for 13 rushes, 129 yards, and a touchdown on the ground. Those are your results from Week 2. We also had some transactions this week that I would be remiss if we did not talk about. The Cowboys, Grams, he won the Tyreek lottery. Congratulations, Grams. I know there were a lot of hopefuls in the SML who could use the 99 speed, 99 excel Tyreek Hill. Grams was able to win that lottery and sign him in a corresponding move in order to free up the cap space. Tyron Smith was traded to the Steelers for a future second-round draft pick. Big trade between the Dolphins and the Broncos as well. The Dolphins sent 3 star players, wide receiver Christian Kirk, defensive tackle Christian Wilkins, and cornerback Noah, I'm not even going to try to say his last name, to the Broncos and Colt for a first, second, and third round pick. So Colt going Mike Ditka here, trading a whole draft, but getting more than just Ricky Williams. He gets 3 useful players, and as an AFC West participant, it's a good trade for Colt. I'm upset about it. There are a few free agent signings that I felt were noteworthy this week. The Cardinals, NYT, signed cornerback Ronald Darby. QP and the Ravens signed running back Melvin Gordon. And yours truly, the Raiders, signed running back Raheem Mostert. Thanks for continuing to listen to SML today, and we'll be back next advance to give you a recap on what went down in Week 3. So, until next time.